Canelo's been extremely durable over the years. One of his many assets is he seems to have one of the best chins in the game.
Wow.
I know you said you don't need to knock him out, you just need to beat him. But do you feel like you can hurt or even stop him?
Well, anybody can get hurt. Anybody can get, knocked out. I don't put it past nobody, but I'm not going in there looking for...
What number makes sense for you? What's fair?
I got $10 million for that fight.
That's a lie.
How you know that's a lie?
To fight Canelo?
Yeah.
That's a lie.
I'm doing it for the opportunity, baby.
Yeah, that's good.
The legacy.
That's
good. That's good.
Yeah. You believe that?
Yeah, 100%.
All right. I like Crawford. All right. My brother fought Canelo, not me. I like Crawford in this fight, and he get to stay big. But my brother even told me that was his mistake that he made. He thought going up in weight, I gotta get massive, I gotta get big to beat Canelo. It made him slower, it made his reflexes slower. He'll tell you himself. He didn't feel like the Jermall Charlo that y'all seen him fight Tony Harrison. Crawford, I feel like that's the same thing as that. You wanna get big.
Terence Crawford isn't just moving up in weight to face Canelo Alvarez. He's making it clear he's aiming for a knockout. This fight feels more like a personal challenge than a business move. Crawford recently revealed he accepted just $10 million for the bout, far less than what someone of his status would usually earn. For him, it's never been about the money. It's about building his legacy. He wants to achieve what very few have, becoming a 3-time undisputed champion in 3 different weight classes, including one he has never fought in. And after taking down Canelo, Crawford plans to drop back to 154 pounds to go for the undisputed title again, determined to prove once and for all that he is the greatest fighter of his generation.
I'm doing it for the opportunity, baby.
Yeah, that's
The legacy.
Now, $10 million for us is like, let's go. But for him in the stage in his career, I don't think $10 million does it. Chris Eubank just got north of 20 M's. So we could say he's not at the level of Bud. And Canelo's the face of boxing. So what y'all think? Y'all think he's telling the truth or he's really just going for legacy?
Canelo said, yeah, I'm doing this for the opportunity, for the legacy. 10 million might sound good to us, but at his stage in life and career, it's not that big. Chris Eubank just got over 20 million, so you can see he's not at that same level yet. And Canelo is the face of boxing. So what do you all think? Is he being honest, or is this really just about chasing his legacy?
For that fight. How you know that's a lie?
To fight Canelo?
Yeah. I'm doing it for the opportunity, baby. The legacy.
That's good.
The legacy outweighed the money. 3-time undisputed. Ooh, coming soon. I might go back down to 54.
To fight who?
And do it. I might go back down and do it again.
As you heard, the pound-for-pound king, Terence Bud Crawford.
I got $10 million for that fight, but I'm doing it for the chance, for the legacy. The legacy matters more than the money. 3-time undisputed? That's coming soon. I might even drop back to 154 and go for it again. Crawford shared this in a recent interview with AK and Barack. That mindset is rare in today's boxing, especially for a 37-year-old former undisputed champion at both lightweight and welterweight, someone who, on paper, has nothing left to prove. But for Crawford, it's no longer about what's on paper. It's about chasing the kind of greatness that only comes around once in a generation.
What can you take from sparring both of them to gauge what's gonna happen in September?
Preparation is gonna definitely be everything. Crawford adjusting to the 168 pound division. I know he's been sitting at a heavier weight for a while, but he's been showing his training and stuff. So that's definitely gonna help him. Canelo's experience. You got Crawford, they got great experience as well. It's gonna be a great fight. It's gonna be a good chess match. I expect a great fight. If I had to favor somebody, I would just pick Canelo.
What makes Crawford's challenge even more impressive is that he's not easing into 168 pounds with a tune-up fight. His first match in this division is straight against Canelo Alvarez, a fighter who has dominated this weight class for nearly 10 years. Canelo has been a fixture at super middleweight since 2018, most recently defending his titles against David Benvidez in May, proving once again that he's the undisputed champion. Crawford, however, says he knows exactly what he's stepping into, and he's not hiding his confidence. He's expecting more than just a win on points. He's aiming for a knockout. If that happens, it could completely change the boxing landscape.
Fighting here with my people and bring this
this kind of fight for them. They deserve it, and it's more than I expect. Yeah, that's my goal this year. But if that fight don't happen, we'll see. But that's my goal this year.
The fight isn't just huge because of Crawford's drive. It's also because both fighters are so confident in themselves that they're already thinking beyond this matchup. Canelo told Ring Magazine that his real focus is still on a rematch with Dimitri Bivol. That's the fight that matters most to him. I hope I get the chance for a rematch with Bivol. That's the only fight at 175 I would really take, but we'll see, he said. Canelo added that he wants to learn from that previous fight, to recognize what not to repeat. He believes in pushing himself to prove he's the better fighter.
If Crawford's listening to this or Canelo's listening, what do you tell them about their fight?
Whoever wants to win will win. You know what I mean? I'm not being funny. Whoever wants to win will win.
The will overcomes everything. That's how you did it. I appreciate you. Great seeing you so much, and keep doing the good work.
This shows that in Canelo's mind, Crawford might just be a stepping stone rather than a real threat. But that's exactly the kind of mistake Crawford seems to be counting on. Strangely, both fighters seem to feel they have nothing left to prove, which sets the stage for an explosive showdown when they finally meet in the ring. The fight, set for September 13th, is already creating excitement, though the venue hasn't been finalized. When asked if Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas was still being considered, Canelo said, "We're still working on that, but we're going to make sure everything is the best."
I got the reach over him. He might got the size, the power. I got the better skills, boxing skills.
Would it be more of a cat and mouse? The reality is Canelo does put people out, from Kirkland to Amir Khan to just...
Don't do
obviously,
I'm just saying, man.
No, but he's not.
Kovalev was older. He does.
Billy Joe.
Don't get me wrong. He does have a lot of power, but all those guys that you name is not as skillful as me. I'm sorry. No disrespect to none of those fighters. The skill levels.
Boxing experts have been vocal about their predictions, and opinions are divided. Former world champion Tony Bellew offered a bold take on the fight, saying, "Canelo likes to control the pace and take his time, but he won't be able to do that against Terence Crawford. I think Crawford will work harder, land his shots, and take the win on points. I understand why Canelo is the favorite, but every reign comes to an end. And if I'm wrong and Canelo does beat Crawford, becoming the first to do so, he deserves all the credit. Nobody has figured out Terence Crawford yet."
Do we see the same result in your honest opinion, Oscar, or do you think 100% Canelo can beat a Bivol?
Yeah, there's no way he beats Bivol. There's just no way. I mean, styles make fights, and as much as I would want to see a Mexican win inside that ring, a national hero, there's no way he beats Bivol.
That's the main tension in this fight. Crawford has never been beaten. No one has cracked his code at 135, 140, or 147 pounds. Now, for the first time, he's skipping a whole weight class and aiming to do it again. Canelo, on the other hand, has only 2 losses, one to Floyd Mayweather early in his career and one to Bivol in 2022. Otherwise, he's looked nearly unbeatable, especially at 168 pounds. Alvarez has the advantage in weight, experience, and comfort at this level. But Crawford brings a hunger and determination that can't be taught or copied.
Not a regular guy. You know what I'm saying? He's special. And, Canelo, he's a top-notch fighter, world-class fighter. Still on the pound-for-pound list, I'm sure towards somewhere near the top. And it's exciting. Terence is freakishly strong. He can punch. He's got good crack. He can fight from both ways. Orthodox, southpaw. He can fight at mid-range, close range, outside. And he can fight going both ways. So it's exciting. It's exciting.
Caleb Plant, who has faced Canelo in the ring, offered a more balanced perspective. "I'll give him a shot. I don't know who wins, and honestly, weight classes exist for a reason," he said. But he also praised Crawford, noting his unique qualities. Terence is a special person with special abilities, mental strength, and physical power. Plant didn't choose a winner, but he highlighted what everyone agrees on about Crawford: he's different. He's fiercely disciplined and carries a chip on his shoulder that doesn't disappear, even after reaching the top.
His chances got better, at least the way how you were seeing things heading into his last fight with him and Skull.
I think it's a stylistic matchup, you know, and William Skull don't fight nothing like Terence Crawford. So we're not going to see the same type of fight come September. I think we're going to see a great fight, real good fight.
You and Terence have always had like a good relationship, but if he makes Canelo come off the...
Plant added, I feel like this Crawford-Canelo fight will be much more exciting for fans. Crawford isn't going to dance around the ring for 12 rounds, and obviously neither will Canelo. So it's going to be a fan-friendly fight. If that holds true, the bout won't just be historic, it'll be entertaining in a way that top-level boxing sometimes isn't, when fighters play it too safe. With both men so confident and eager to prove themselves, even after achieving more than most fighters ever will, a slow tactical chess match seems unlikely. Instead, it could turn into a true battle of wills.
I think Crawford beats Canelo in
I don't think so.
Why is that? Why do you?
This guy's more comfortable at 168. He's been fighting 168 for 4 or 5 years now. Crawford's a great fighter, but we'll see. Boxing, anything can happen.
Did it look like Canelo was slowing down against Skull?
No, I think it's just something he's uncomfortable with.
Two of boxing's biggest stars are on a collision course. May 31st, they'll show up.
Not everyone believes Crawford has the edge, though. Sebastian Fender was direct when asked about his chances. I don't think so. Canelo is more comfortable at 168, he said, pointing out that Canelo has been fighting at that weight for 4 or 5 years. Fender's view went beyond just weight. He also noted that Crawford has fought only once in the past year and will be 38 by the time he enters the ring in September. In his last fight against Israil Madrimov, Crawford didn't look as sharp as he once did. Age had started to show.
I think he's gonna cook him. I think, Canelo a hell of a fighter, but I think Bud just got all the tools.
You don't think the weight difference is gonna be too big of an advantage?
I think y'all make that something, in certain fights,
Boxing makes it something, not us.
like if this was like a Benvidez, he's actually a lot bigger than Bud, so that would apply. But I feel like with Canelo, he's physically kind of big, but height wise, he's kind of small. So I don't think so, no.
Some fans think Crawford is just after the paycheck and won't truly challenge Canelo. They expect him to focus on survival, staying on the move, avoiding Alvarez's punches, and hoping to win on points. Crawford is a great fighter, but we'll see, they say.
I was more comfortable at 168. He's going to fight again for undisputed for a second time at 168. So this is nothing uncomfortable to him. Terence Crawford's a great fighter. And of course, we're starting to see that he can probably make 168 naturally. But again, it's a different division. 147, 168, two different divisions.
David Benvidez also shared his thoughts on the highly anticipated Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford fight. He didn't hold back in praising Crawford, calling his boxing IQ exceptional and recognizing him as a strong, talented fighter. It was clear he respects what Crawford brings to the ring. But for Benvidez, the bigger concern isn't skill, it's the weight difference. Crawford has never fought at 168 pounds, 2 divisions above where he's dominated before. Benvidez noted that Crawford was already feeling the power of bigger opponents at 154, and that challenge will only be greater when facing someone like Canelo, who has proven strength at super middleweight.
I think it's more important for Crawford than anybody, but I think if anybody could beat Canelo, I think Crawford could.
Yeah, I know you said he could be the guy. What kind of a chance do you ultimately give him?
I think you give him a 7 out of a 10.
Oh, wow, that high. I thought you were going to say 25.
No, Crawford is good. Crawford is good, and I think he's been known that he's going to fight Canelo for a long, long time. And Crawford, he likes to pick up the weight, so I'm sure he's been working on.
Outside the ring, promoter Eddie Hearn offered his own perspective, looking at Crawford's place in boxing history. In an interview with YSM Sports Media, Hearn openly questioned the depth of Crawford's record. He even jokingly asked Crawford to name his most significant win. When Crawford mentioned Ricky Burns, Hearn didn't hold back. While Burns is a 3-division champion and a respected fighter, he isn't usually counted among the all-time greats.
Crawford is going to do a lot of defense. Now, if he pulls off that win, dude, that's going to be one of the most biggest upsets of all time for this dude to go up that many weight classes. And now I do think that, he's going to get his little shots in as far as, finessing and all that, because his hands are definitely way faster.
Hearn argued that Crawford never really faced many marquee names during his rise. He said it wasn't necessarily Crawford's fault, but it left him without the chance to build the kind of legendary resume that fighters from past generations had. According to Hearn, Crawford might have beaten many of those legends, but he simply never got the opportunity to prove it in the ring.
But even he acknowledges that Errol Spence, was probably a little bit... And Bud could beat all the greats, but he never really got the chance, and that's why this fight's really important for him and to him. And after watching Canelo against Skull, and I know it was Skull, and I think he's the fresher guy in there, and I very rarely back against Canelo Alvarez. But
regarding how the Canelo-Crawford fight could unfold, Hearn admitted that, even though he usually doesn't bet against Canelo, this matchup is difficult to predict. He pointed out that Crawford is fresher and suggested that if there's ever a time for him to beat someone like Canelo, this could be it. Hearn rarely hedges like that when discussing one of his most well-known fighters, which highlights just how unusual and significant this fight is.
Weight classes, like once he gets touched by Canelo, it's going to be different.
I am concerned about him absorbing a Canelo punch, especially through the course of 12 rounds. We do know this about Canelo. He's going to slow down, so I think if anything, Canelo would try to start fast and bang on him.
Another perspective comes from Jermall Charlo, whose brother Jermall fought Canelo in 2023 and lost. Jermall didn't shy away from analyzing that fight, saying Jermall's mistake was trying to bulk up too much to match Canelo's size. In doing so, he lost speed and reflexes. According to Jermall, that approach didn't work and shouldn't be repeated. Looking at Crawford, Jermall hopes he avoids the same error. He believes Crawford's strength isn't in matching Canelo's size, but in movement, precision, and timing. Trying to meet Canelo head-on in power and weight could be a serious mistake.
Notion that Terence Bud Crawford should move up 3 weight classes, 21 pounds, to fight Canelo Alvarez. He's entirely too small. Jermall Charlo already proved that.
Here's what Jermall Charlo thinks should be considered carefully. Moving up 3 weight classes, 21 pounds, to fight Canelo Alvarez is a huge jump. Crawford may be too small. Charlo has already shown that in his own experience. While he still supports Crawford, he worries that the fighter who enters the ring at 168 might not be the same one who crushed Gamboa or dominated Spence. Moving up in weight isn't just about taking bigger punches. It changes your entire physical rhythm. Jermall's concern is that in trying to adjust to Canelo's world, Crawford could lose the very tools that made him great.
Terence Crawford, big weight jump, a dangerous fight, but somebody's got to prove to me that they can break Terence Crawford's will and that he can't figure it out against you. It ain't no disrespect toward Canelo, but I've said this the last couple of years. I'm not betting against Terence Crawford against nobody right now. You got to show me that you can beat.
The discussion around this fight has also focused on the promotional side and what it could mean for future matchups. A big question in boxing circles is whether a Canelo win would finally set up a fight with David Benvidez. Benvidez has moved up to light heavyweight and now holds the WBC title at 175, but fans still dream of a showdown between the two Mexican stars. However, Benavidez's father, known for being outspoken, dismissed those expectations. Speaking to Fight Hub TV, he predicted that Canelo versus Crawford would be boring, pointing to the low punch output in Canelo's fight with David Benvidez and suggesting this matchup simply lacks the ingredients for excitement.
For boxing for David Benvidez to fight Canelo Alvarez, he would, to be honest, I would say that he would send him to a hospital. The body's not the same no more. David's super strong, young, and I believe that fight will never happen.
That skepticism isn't shared by everyone, but it highlights how divided opinions are about this fight. Some see Crawford as risking everything to claim a third undisputed title, driven by a strong desire to cement his legacy in boxing. Others think he's stepping into a division that doesn't suit him, against a fighter who's perfectly at home there, with too little preparation and too much at stake. Either way, Crawford's mindset hasn't changed. He believes this matchup will bring out the best in him.
For Canelo, I still say Canelo.
I got Canelo too.
I still say Canelo. Ring IQ, I believe that Crawford has a bit more.
Yeah.
However, it's just the size difference. I think that where Crawford is lacking is that he should test the waters even with somebody at that weight class before facing Canelo. But hey, they say he's a dog.
And if he wins, Crawford already has his next move planned. He'll drop back to 154 to go for undisputed status a 4th time. For him, this fight isn't a detour or a retirement plan, it's a challenge. Winning isn't enough. He wants to keep breaking records and proving what few have done before. But do you think he'll come out with the win he expects? Share your thoughts below and subscribe for more updates.